Okay everyone, this is what we're going to paint today. This is a bird's nest that is in the trellis in my backyard. And I have never seen such a blue egg ever. And it's, to me, just a miracle the way these animals are able to create these masterpieces of architecture. This nest is absolutely perfect and round. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. So I'm going to not worry about a lot of the branches. I'll show you my drawing in a minute. I'm not going to worry about this area up here. This is a trellis, and it's very unlikely we would see a bird's nest with sky in the background, so I'm not even going to worry about background. I'm just going to paint it as a vignette, which is just not worrying about what's going on around it, just the object itself. So we got a lot of browns in here. And I've mixed up some browns to show you. So first off, these are store-bought browns, and this is the colors that they are. Let's see. So yeah, starting up here with the hematite, the brown madder, caput mortem, which means caput means dead, or yes. So caput mortem violet, Piemonte genuine, and you can see quite well that there's some granulation going on in these because they're ground up stone and they give you a variety of colors. They're just beautiful. Bloodstone, this is regular burnt umber, and then this is quinacridone sienna, and this is quinacridone burnt sienna. So you can see that this is a darker, duller color than the quinacridone sienna, which is a pretty amazing orange. But I'm not going to use any pre-made because I want this lesson to be about mixing browns. But I want you to know that these are available, and I will post these on my website. Okay, so I have mixed up a bunch of browns using some basic colors. So these two are French ultramarine base. This one is with permanent orange. This one is vermilion and gamboge. These are manganese. This one's with permanent orange. This one with vermilion and gamboge. So you kind of have to block out what's going on around to see that the fact that in the center here where these colors are mixed, it's brown. Okay, dioxazine purple and new gamboge. Dioxazine purple and lemon. Moon glow, new gamboge, lemon. Okay, look how different those are just by the different yellows, a very warm yellow and a very cool yellow. And then here's quinacridone red with olive green. So what I'm using is the colors opposite on the color wheel. The complementary colors mixed together should give you a brown. If you're brown, you're using red and green, and the brown is too red, then add a little more green, and vice versa. So here's quin red and perylene green and lemon. Here's quin red and olive green. I should have added a little more olive to that. And here's quin red and undersea, which I really like. Okay, undersea is a Daniel Smith color, and it is really French ultramarine and quinacridone gold. So that's what you've got there. Anyway, so I've starred the ones that I really like, that I think I'm going to use. So the French ultramarine and permanent orange I'm going to use for the colors that are farther away. The warmer one, which will be this one, is the quin red and undersea. I'm going to use for the colors that are closer in. But I'm going to try and interweave them. I think it's important to do the blue because we've got our blue egg. Okay, so I've never painted a nest before, so let's see what happens. The first thing I want to do is to create, looks like I got something on there. Well, it's never going to matter when the nest gets done. So the first thing I want to do is create a little bit of dark here and a little bit of dark here. So I'm just going to do some darker brush strokes that I'm going to help me get some depth in there. All right, so let's go with the French ultramarine mixed with a little bit of orange. And I'm just going to drop it in strokey wise. Comes around a little bit. And I'm using a fairly large brush at this point. It's a 10. And this is the last time I'm going to use it. I'm going to go down to my 4s and my 6s to get those little lines that are in there. Okay, let's just put a little water in here. Just going to bring it down and let some of that color move into the lower level. Okay. So let's come into the foreground now with the quinacridone red and the undersea. And I've made a light warm brown, so I'm not starting out dark. And I'm just going to come in and start very carefully. Getting the feel of the brush strokes moving around. So I'm going to try and leave these puddles, and notice how some of them just go out. She's kind of random. Don't concentrate on just doing So we're still in very light values here. I just think it's amazing that an animal can do this. All right, let's try another one. Let's try our Moon Glow and Lemon. We get kind of a greeny brown. So I'm going to start being a little more thoughtful. So not long strokes, right? These are little pieces of twigs and grass and whatever she found there. Some are going up. Some are going off. Got a little bit of shadow here. It's pretty amazing. The bottom is just like a web. All right, let's go with an orangey one. So I'm going to do, or a yellowy one. I'm going to do manganese and permanent orange. So I've got a lot of negative spaces in here. I think I still want to do some more stroking. It's pretty amazing to see. Remember, it doesn't have to be a nest. It only has to feel like a nest. I think we need one more yellowy, don't you? I also think we need to do some filling in. Still a little wet there. Frustrated by that. Now what's going to make this really look round is when we come in with the darks. And I don't want this to be too solid. I want to leave some lights in here. Really just using the end of my brush. I don't know how they do it. Their instincts are incredible. So I have drawn in some leaves and branches. I'm not even sure I'm going to do that at this point. Let's get that blue in. This is manganese. I'm seeing the dark down there at the bottom. Put some up here at the top. Start in the middle there and just bring the color in. Pretty dry brush there. Maybe a little more color at the bottom. We can come back and put a shadow on that later. It's looking pretty eggy. I've never seen an egg so blue. I wonder if it's what they eat. I'm not going to worry about this leaf that's leaning up against it. I'm going to let that be not important. All right, let's go back to our browns. what we can make. So brown is usually a combination of red, yellow, and blue in some form or other, but when you have purple, you already have the red and blue, and so you only need to add yellow. And when you have orange, you have the red and yellow. All right. So I'm just going to kind of come in, and you know what? I'm going down to a smaller brush. Something you don't often see me do. This is a 4. I think that's still wet, so I'm going to stay away from that for a minute. This isn't our last layer, but it's pretty dark, but it's helping us give it some roundness. We'll come in and break up these big shapes with a darker color yet. It's getting there. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but when I paint, I squint. So to get this roundness, we've got to come in and put the darks on the bottom as well. So I'm kind of looking for where the big shapes are that I can kind of come in and break up later. Down here it's pretty big. Looks so random, but she did a great job. Really, she really knew what she was doing. Instincts are incredible. Starting to feel round. Let's get some darks up in here. So I think this takes a lot of layers. That's negative painting there, and that's making the shapes around it move forward. It's a good thing. Let's come up here and do that. All right. Can't really see what's down there. It's really all about the egg, not just for us, for the mama too. Okay, I think you get the idea. I'm going to put one more darker color in. So I think I'm going with the French Ultramarine and the Permanent Orange again. And I'm just going to make it nice and strong, nice and rich. I think we can even make it darker. Little strokes in here. So here's our darkest place, but it's still pretty pretty wet. Yeah, let's get that all dark in there. All the way around here. And there's some dark spots in here. Some dark spots over here. Still not dry. This is one of those things where you could probably play with it all day. Really dark down here. Okay, I think this is enough to get you going. This is a quick one and a fun one. Have fun.